Against the spread, with the spread. I mean, I'll say a couple things, a couple key statistics. In one-possession games last season, Carolina was 7-1. They won a lot of close games. That's a good football team. The old adage is good teams win close games. History of Carolina Panthers, they're 6-0 on Thursday night. I don't think that means shit ever. I hate history.
Nothing. No, it's a useless stat.
It is. I
don't know when you talk about a short week, though.
Well, you can't with the short week, I don't think, because it's the first night.
The short week doesn't qualify as the first week.
No, right now I know it doesn't. But like in say this is fifth week of the year and you're talking short week, I think that stat doesn't matter.
It does, but then you have to look and see. In my opinion, you have to look and see.
And it's not a big enough sample size, yeah.
You know, because I want to talk about the current players that are in the current uniform now.
Carolina being 6-0 on a Thursday night is dare I say, it's a degenerate stat. It's some degenerate gambler's going to. It's basically some degenerate gambler's going to look at it and say, "Oh, Carolina Panthers are 6-0 on a Thursday night. It's a lock. It's a lock."
Yeah, it might help them out tonight, though. I agree. It is kind of a clutching straws a little bit there, but road favorite. I think that with them being the big road favorite, you automatically, as a gambler, as a player, somebody who likes to get involved in this, you kind of look at this and you start to think like, a bunch of big public money must have come in and moved this number in one direction or another, and I personally don't think that's the case. I think that you really, really have to watch out, especially on opening night, opening day in college, NFL. The books, the casinos themselves, they collude. And if you think the gaming commission is going to come in and they're the one providing these lines, they can go ahead and turn this line whatever direction they want to just entice people to get in. But I really don't think Denver is going to win this game. I really don't, and they to win it to be that close and take the 3 points in Denver, I couldn't do it. I would have to lay Carolina in the 3.
Yeah, I agree totally. I think it might be. I could see I'm seeing two scenarios. I'm seeing either it's a 3-point game or I'm seeing a blowout by Carolina. Nothing else is happening in this game that I can wrap my head around.
I don't buy the Carolina's going to blow them out. I don't think the defense is going to be that much different. I do agree, though. I do think Carolina wins this game. I don't see a blowout. I really don't. Not Carolina going on the road. I see more along. I mean, a 21-13 type of game wouldn't surprise me. Something along those lines. I just can't fathom either team winning by blowout. I think Carolina will win, but I don't picture them blowing them out. I don't.
Well, you got Carolina with healthy receivers, healthy defense. No Josh Norman. That's a loss.
Sometimes you got to remind Ted Ginn you can be the fastest on the field all you want, but sometimes you got to be able to catch the ball too. It's part of being a receiver.
Again, he scored 10 touchdowns last year. Not a whole lot of other receivers can say that. So whether he can catch or can't catch, he still ran past the defense.
He probably should have had 20. But yeah, I get what you're.
Right.
I get what you're saying.
Maybe he should have had 15, but
yeah.
But still, 10's nothing to sneeze at. It's a healthy Carolina team, and I just think a healthy Carolina team is very tough to beat. They will likely be a lot more prepared for some of the blitz packages they saw in the Super Bowl last year. They've got to be. And on Denver, on the other side of the ball, you could effectively say that Denver may be playing without a quarterback. You don't know, and I'm only saying this because I don't know. I don't know what Trevor Siemian is capable of. I don't know how much of the playbook he's digested. I don't know if that offense is wide open, if they feel comfortable allowing him to make all the throws. I don't know if that's a real thing at all. I just don't. So if that's the case, and Carolina can discover early on that they're going to blitz his face early and often, the running game in Denver in turn will struggle.
If you're Carolina and if you're that defense all day, every day, you're telling your defense, let's not give this kid any respect until he's earned it. Let's just go in his face. Let's throw everything we got at him, and when he proves he can beat us, and he proves we need to have something to worry about, then we will peel back. But we're just going to I tell them pin their ears back and just go at this kid.
And count on it that they're going to. They're going to get at him. Don't be surprised if he gets hit real hard, real early. I actually anticipate this game to be pretty damn chippy, which would be cool. I'd like to see a chippy football game. Don't
think Denver's not coming at Cam Newton again this year because they're saying, hey, dude, we rattled you before. Don't think we're not going to try to do it again. We know what it takes, and we took you out of your game. We took you out of it. We destroyed his whole mental, his psyche, where his arrogance, his ego. They shattered that. in the
you
Super
made a good
Bowl.
point. He's the only. They're probably the only defense that was able to do that last year. So to face
they really were.
First
they were
game of the year for Cam Newton, I think that's.
And they want to prove tonight that they know how to do it on a consistent basis. They figured out the blueprint.
Now, I've seen this line now. It has moved on the over-under from under 43 down to 40.5. Now, with that number shifting like that, I got to tell you, I think that's a lot of money coming in on the under. I don't think that's a trap move. I don't think that's a casino move. That's a lot of money coming in on the unders. I think so. I love the unders in this game. I loved it at 43. I do not love it at 41.
I was just about to say, I don't like it at 40. I liked it at 43. So.
That's one of those games they might be telling you, though. There might be a fumble recovery for a touchdown, a pick six, something like that.
I'm glad you mentioned
this. Could
I really
be goofy.
because the pick six is something that's been kind of in my brain, and I want to talk a little fantasy here. But we've all finished up our fantasy drafts. We finished our family fantasy draft. I'm the clear-cut favorite to win the entire thing. Obviously, that said,
I don't know. Not according to computer. You didn't draft D'Amico style. According to
the computer gave me
according to our computer, A+. Can't beat it.
Yeah, the computer, if it knew anything at all.
I wish I could type something back to this computer. They have me at a D. I should just type something to them. I should just say, what else is fucking new? Tell me something I don't know. My team sucks. Okay.
Suck at this.
Yeah.
But to get to it, there goes my train of thought. I watched that over-underline move, and on a fantasy standpoint, Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, I think those are two receivers that if you were able to draft them, you were probably able to draft them a little bit deeper than in years past because people are afraid of the quarterback position. But I love Demaryius Thomas. Now, that said, this guy is an underneath pass catcher who has the up-top ability, but he's an underneath guy. He's a guy that really benefits from wide receiver screens. He benefits from quick slants and things where he can break away. He can outrun a lot of defenders over the middle and get upfield. The question tonight is can Trevor Siemian make those throws? We're going to find out early and often. The question I have fantasy-wise is, can you start Demaryius Thomas in any leagues tonight?
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
I think he's a must-start because, like you said, he has that ability. But Emmanuel Sanders, I don't know about that. That's I got to see how he plays.
Emmanuel Sanders, you're right, Matt. Demaryius Thomas, yeah, he's your star because likely you drafted him in the first 4 rounds. If you drafted somebody in the first 4 rounds, 9 times out of 10, barring unless they're nicked up or something, you are going to start them week 1, no matter what the matchup.
Yeah, you are.
And actually, I think you might even start both of them tonight. I didn't think about this. Like you said, Charles Norman's gone. That secondary is shaky.
It is shaky, and that's to be noted. It is
shaky on one half, but on the other half, it's a good question. Who is Trevor Siemian?
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why you can't be so we know that Carolina Panthers defense, they do have a weakness, and if Gary Kubiak and the coaching staff recognize the weakness and they trust Trevor Siemian to make the passes, those short passes through and damage the secondary, then they can open up the run game possibly.
They can, and that's what they're going to need to do. I think you would look for them to work more underneath before they try to get up top. They've got to set those things up. But I want to ask you this question. The Carolina Panthers aren't stupid, and they know where Demaryius Thomas butters his bread. Is there a potential possibility for a Carolina defensive touchdown tonight to jump one of those underneath routes?
I think
very possible. Like I said, we were talking about before about the under. It's very possible. Very possible for a pick six on both sides. It's just,
it is.
That's where you got to be skeptical a little bit. The unders, I think, if you're going to make the play, the unders still is the play. But if you're going to add some skepticism, you're going to say, yeah, but these two defenses, is there not the chance for some kind of fumble recovery, pick six, or something like that could maybe touch it over?
For a defensive touchdown.
Yeah.
I think there's actually a likelihood of a defensive touchdown tonight. So if you have the ability on one of your websites to play a defensive touchdown option, that's something I would look into depending on what you're going to get on it. I think of a defensive score. I would definitely think a turnover at some point tonight. One team's going to turn the ball over. It's a different atmosphere. There's still going to be rust on their hands. Somebody's turning the ball over tonight. And one of the things to think about, too, is in the gambling setting, if you're going to be spending a Sunday in Las Vegas, a Saturday in Las Vegas, you don't want to bet every single game.
Yeah,
that's not necessary.
Exactly.
You pick the ones you like. Keep in the back of your mind. An old man at the dog track told me a long, long time ago that, son, quit betting every race. Find one puppy you love and bet that puppy heavy, and he was right. But that said, if you do feel the itch and the urge to bet every game, we want you to go out and have a look at SundaySwim.com. SundaySwim.com is your open invitation to bring all your buddies and pals in to have a monitored draft pool. You can pick your games every week. Everybody starts with 500 points. You must bet on a weekly basis a minimum of 50 points up to a 150-point maximum. And the one at the end of the season left standing with the most points takes the pot, whatever you deem the pot to be, whether somebody's buying a round of drinks or matchsticks, clams, whatever you're betting. It's a great, great way to monitor your office pool, family pool, friend pool, or combine all of them together. It can all be done online. It's available in the Apple iTunes store. You can download those apps and do it all from your phone. It doesn't get any cooler than that. We're all doing it this year. I've been part of the beta testing for years, and it's an awesome, awesome program. So please check out our friends at SundaySwim.com and have some fun. And then, hit us up on the comment boards and let us know what you think of it, because all the feedback helps, and they're really doing everything they can to keep that a great site. So SundaySwim.com. Thanks, guys. And now that we're sidetracked off of that, I was talking still about betting every game.
Yeah, I thought that was a great way to.
I don't.
2 or 3.
Yeah, I really just don't love the idea. So Thursday night's always so tempting. Thursday night is always so tempting, and this is a little department that I think it's important we bring up to the fantasy player out there who might be a little bit rusty coming into the new season, and I know I am too, but as I started looking at some lineups, I realized that I had a Denver Bronco player lodged in my flex position. You do not want to have a player on Thursday night in your flex position. If he's a receiver, put him at wide receiver. If he is a running back, put him at running back, not at your flex. Your flex has options. Don't limit your options on the first night. It's a mistake you make without paying attention. Smarten up. Don't do that. So just as a little reminder from the boys here at the Line Sports Talk Podcast, we love you and we don't want to see you make bonehead mistakes on your fantasy lineup. So.
I'm just checking that right now. I think I might actually have that problem.
That's what our gracious host says. Honestly, if you want to go ahead and do it, do it. I mean, you got to learn the hard way sometimes. I sure as hell do.
Yeah, you do.
I don't feel any sympathy for the fantasy loser. I'm sorry. I just don't.
I just want everybody to gain something from listening to our podcast, for goodness sake. If they can pick up one thing, if they can realize that I shouldn't have C.J. Anderson in my flex position tonight, then that's probably a good idea. Go out there and fix it.
There we go. I had Kelvin Benjamin in my flex.
See that? You're welcome. You would have been.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Whether you start him or not, you'd have been in all kinds of trouble. But that's one of those things that if you were in mid-season form, week 6, 7, 8, you'd have known to not do that. But it's been a long time since you thought about it. And I'll tell you what, my smart ass is actually digging through all my lineups right now, doing the same thing, making sure I didn't do this. So any more breakdowns, any ideas, any thoughts? I can't see any other scenario where Carolina doesn't cover this game the way they need to.
Yeah, I agree.
I just
no problem. More than likely, Carolina wins this football game, but I think it's gonna be a good game. I don't think it's if you're for that Big 12 college action, running up and down the field. This game's probably not for you. So
I don't think so. Yeah, I agree.
Those games aren't for me personally. I think that I don't see the difference between Big 12 football and Arena League, but
I don't see the difference between most college football and Arena League.
Yeah, that's very true.
Hey, but we don't have the problem. We got NFL back.
I don't know that I saw a lot of defense this year at all. Just don't know if I saw it. Anybody got any fun bets for tonight? There's a couple of them floating around out there. I really always enjoy looking at some of these in-game lines and just some of the creative ones to see what might be interesting. And I put some time in on some prop bets. Those are all garbage with the exception of the defensive.
Nah, I don't really mess with that, and I don't encourage anyone else to. It's a waste of your time. But I am going to give a shout out though. We do UFC on this show, and I think it's worth being brought up. Heavyweight fight tonight in my hometown of Northeast Ohio. Stipe Miocic versus and Matt, help me out. Who's the kickboxer he's fighting?
Alistair Overeem.
Alistair Overeem.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know how much insight into it. Stipe, good luck to you. You're a born and bred Northeast Ohioan like me, and me, Matt, and at one time Mr. T, our host. So good luck to you. We'd like to see a representative.